Angry man in Utah crashes his recently purchased car into the dealership showroom. Now, here's an interesting story I read today on foxbusiness.com. This was written by Aislinn Murphy, titled, Angry Customer Crashes Recently Purchased Subaru Through Doors at Dealership. According to the author, a customer bought a Subaru at a Mazda dealership in Utah. This was an as-is purchase. After buying the car, he took it to his mechanic and it needed several repairs. He warned the dealership where he bought the car that he would do something like this if they didn't make it right. Someone captured a video of the vehicle crashing through the glass at the dealership and hitting a desk. In the video, you could hear the customer getting out of the vehicle and saying, "I told you expletives." The customer said, and I'll quote, "I know I probably shouldn't have done it, but I guess I just hit a breaking point. I was just really angry. I was upset about the money. I kind of blacked out for a second. Here are my thoughts. This is a terrible situation for everyone. It is unfortunate that this customer reached a point where he felt like this dangerous act was his only option. It is also unfortunate that the car dealership was unable to help resolve the problem the customer was having. I'm just glad nobody was hurt. I'm sure this guy may end up with some type of criminal record, and the reputation of this dealership could be tarnished locally because of this spectacle that is now in the national news." Even if they did nothing wrong, this could still be a problem for them because public perception is often really powerful. Some car dealerships these days engage in some interesting business practices. Not necessarily this dealership, though. I'll share a recent example with you. I found a used Toyota for sale on eBay. It was priced well. I thought it seemed like a good deal. I clicked on the description and I started to read the fine print. The car dealership charges a dealership processing fee, which is 10% of the vehicle purchase price. They also require all vehicles to be shipped with their shipping company. Imagine if somebody clicked the buy it now price on eBay thinking all they would have to pay was the purchase price and sales tax in their state. Then they find out that they will owe a dealership processing fee of 10% of the purchase price and an unknown amount of money for shipping of the vehicle. I thought some of these dealership dock fees were excessive until I read the fine print in the description of the listing for this particular vehicle. Buyers need to put emotion aside when it comes to purchasing a new vehicle. Approach the purchase systematically and read everything twice. If there is something you don't understand, get a competent, neutral third party to review the information. In terms of buying used cars, I'll tell you the things that I look at. This isn't advice. I'm just sharing my systematic process. I like looking at used cars on cars.com. You can limit the search to one owner, no accidents, clean title, and personal use only. Once I've limited the search with these 4 options, I then sort the vehicles based on mileage. Many of the listings on cars.com include the ability to review a free Carfax report. I review each Carfax report to see how many times the vehicle has been to a franchise dealership for service. If the vehicle only went to the franchise dealership for maintenance for the first couple of years, and then the owner started going to some tire shop or muffler shop for service, I move on to the next vehicle. I'm looking for a car that has been well maintained at a franchise dealership with factory parts. Once I find a vehicle that has a good service history, I will find the last franchise dealership it has been to, I will call them and provide them with the VIN number. I'll ask if the customer declined any service the last time the car was there. Sometimes the service advisor will tell you that the person declined a lot of service, which might be why they decided to sell the vehicle. I had a service advisor once tell me a long list of things a car needed, and the customer decided not to do those things. The list was thousands of dollars. Once I find a car that is truly up to date on service, I then look at the pictures to see if the vehicle was well cared for inside and out. If the driver's seat is dirty on the driver's side, well, I might pass on that vehicle. Same goes for the driver's side carpet. If a car meets all of the criteria I've already discussed, I then call the dealership and ask them to FaceTime me. That way, I can ask the salesperson to point out any defects inside and out that I couldn't see in any of the pictures online. If the car looks good on FaceTime, I then ask the salesperson to disclose any dealership-specific fees that may not be listed online. I also ask the salesperson to work up their best out-the-door price with the dealership fees and sales tax. I ask them to send that to me via email or text so I have it in writing. Then I start the negotiation process with the dealership. Unfortunately, most people will never invest this amount of time when buying a used vehicle. They will find a car that looks nice online. They will call and ask if the car is available, and then they will go to the dealership for a test drive. If they like the car, they'll buy it. Some will end up with a mountain of problems later on because they failed to do their research up front. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Today, I read another interesting article on CNBC.com written by Alex Heron, titled, "More than half of Gen X parents worry about financially supporting their kids into adulthood, survey shows." The author of this article referenced a U.S. bank survey which revealed that 53% of Gen X parents are worried their child may need financial support well into adulthood. This is compared to 37% of parents across all generations. Here are my thoughts. I hate to hear about this. Continuing to provide financial support to adult children could have implications for retirement savings for these people. Some may have to work longer because they were unable to save adequately. I also worry this problem isn't going to stop with Gen X parents. Wait until Gen Y and Gen Z people eventually have adult children. I think the percentage shared in this article could be far worse. It's hard for young people straddled with college debt to get their footing in our very expensive world. Some even have a hard time finding employment after graduation. If they do, well, it may not even be in their field, and it may not pay enough for them to live on their own. I know several Gen X parents who have adult children they are still supporting financially. For some, there is no end in sight. Getting back to the article, the author referenced findings from a savings.com survey, which revealed that parents were shelling out $1,384 on average to support their kids. For Gen Z kids specifically, parents were paying $1,515 per month in financial support. Well, my friends, this is quite a bit of money when you think about it on an annual basis. That's $18,180 a year. Think about how much money you have to earn at your job to bring home $18,180 after taxes. Think about how much money you could have decades from now if you dollar cost averaged into some low-cost funds if your kids were self-supportive adults and didn't need this money. I'm not suggesting parents shouldn't help their kids. Certainly they should. But I think some parents may need to reflect on that quote, "Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime." In the case of the data from savings.com, give a Gen Zer $1,515 and you support him for a month. Teach a Gen Zer how to find good gainful employment and manage his own finances, and you help him become self-supportive for a lifetime. Those are just my thoughts. And what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.